This is my story, told my way. Thankies!
So, Velma. Yeah, a while back I kind of went out defending the idea of this show. And yes, I will still defend the idea of this show. Defending the show, however, that's a whole nother can of worms. And it's a can of worms that I'm diving straight into.
And it starts with a murder.
First episode's bad. First episode's really fucking bad. It is gross, disgusting, characters are unlikable, I have no idea what is going on, who this is for. The very first scene, the very first thing we get in this show is two Roaches fucking, and I have no idea why they're doing this. I just want to strangle this show. We have them trying to hang a lampshade on the idea of, hey, the first episodes always have more sex and gross out and disgusting violence in it, and then the rest of the series isn't like that. And the first episode certainly does have a lot of naked teens and gross out humor and disembowelment and just disgusting nonsense. Okay, first of all, this thing is supposed to be adult humor Scooby Doo. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the reimagining of Scooby Doo because Scooby Doo's been reimagined like a million times, and we've had crazy versions of the characters. I've got no problem with that. My problem right now is that none of these characters seem enjoyable and likable, and I don't know if we're supposed to like them or supposed to hate them. Usually when there's a group of horrible characters, like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the joke is you see them fail at everything that they're trying to do. You're supposed to watch them be horrible and get punished for it. These characters are being horrible, and the show doesn't seem to realize that they're being horrible most of the time. But okay, Velma is a biatch, and she is mean to everybody. She is a stuck-up, snobby, smart person who doesn't see how horrible she treats everybody, and everybody else around her is horrible. Daphne's chasing popularity. Fred is a rich sociopath. Shaggy Norville is... okay, he's kind of the only nice guy there, but he's nice in the whole inoffensive, doesn't do anything really kind of guy, kind of chasing after Velma. And that in itself is a bit annoying. And Velma is a mystery solver who's hung up going after mysteries after her mother went missing. And yeah, all this stuff gets started because some girl has her head cut open and her brain removed, and the mystery is who's killing teen girls, removing their brains, and where the hell all these roaches are friggin' coming from. Dear God. Velma's the one who starts off being framed for doing it, and kind of part of me wants her to be behind these murders. So she gets locked the fuck up. So she gets charged with tracking down the real killer and has to get information from all these other people that she's horrible to, and I just want her to die horribly. Don't listen to anybody. This thing is not woke. There's no message behind it. It is just horrible people being horrible. And then episode 2 happens. And it's competent. It's nothing like the first episode. It has jokes that land. It has characters who get a little bit more depth. The animation's good between both this episode and the first episode, but the second episode, like Fred has a character, and he's funny, and as like this horrible asshole incompetent person who can't even feed himself, and he gets accused of doing the murders, but his whole thing is that he's so incompetent as a human being that he couldn't possibly kill anybody. And you have Shaggy stumbling around trying to raise money to help out Velma, and he gets involved in this whole drug sting operation, and that's interesting and exciting. And you have Velma and Daphne rekindling their friendship, running around behind the backs of Daphne's two police officer mothers who are incompetent at their job, and they're dealing drugs while the parents are trying to track them down, and the whole other mystery still going on, and there's interesting jokes that land. And why is the first episode so bad? And I'm not saying the second episode's good. It is not good. Half the jokes land. The other half of the jokes are just crappy, mean-spirited nonsense. But there is an upswing, and I could see it actually getting good, but the good only just emphasizes how bad the bad is. Yeah, I mean, okay. Still, animation's good, with sparks of greatness. The voice work is good, though the performances are they jump up and down. I don't know what this show is trying to be, but I'm going to give it another shot, because if the trajectory continues upwards, then there's the possibility for a good show here. But right now, I would not call this good, and I would not recommend watching it. The first show is so bad, if I wasn't going to be doing this review, I would have turned it off 10 minutes into it, 5 minutes into it. You know what? Flat out, fuck it. Skip first episode, start with episode 2. It's a million times better, and even that's not saying much. But hey, I'll let you know whether or not this thing is survivable next week. I'm Keckers, this is Velma, and I'll see you next time. Later, taters.